Hello, Mr. Crowther. Thanks so much for coming along today. You've got 5 minutes to bring your deputation to us, after which you'll be responded to by the appropriate Cabinet member. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is James Crowther from Stocksmall, and I am the recently appointed Treasurer of the recently established small charity Keep Shelley Pyramid for our children. The purposes of this non-political charity are that we are against Shelly Academy's proposal to expand and take in years 7 and 8, thereby creating a large 2,000 plus mega school. We believe that the current system provides the best all-round educational progression for the children in our community. Of course, we want our schools to continue and to improve and to provide the very best, but any improvement should include all the schools rather than break apart what already works and potentially remove some of the smaller schools in the pyramid. We are campaigning for the protection of every school within this pyramid of schools and to maintain the strong cultural identity and focal point of the communities in our area. We have an organised committee of passionate parents, and communities and local business are rallying to the cause. There are already several meetings taking place tonight across South Kirklees, and we're having to spread our resources amongst those meetings. In particular, we've organised our first public meeting in Skelmanthorpe for parents and the press, where we should be placing all the facts before the audience. Actually, I've seen the presentation and it's very impressive. These facts will be devoid of passion and rancour, and we shall be seeking to provide information for worried parents. So, as local parents, we want the right to determine local education for our children. The current system has a large number of schools that Ofsted rated outstanding. The current system produces GCSE results in the top 10% in the country. Ofsted states that Year 9 children entering Shelley College are well above the national attainment level, and also that pastoral care in the middle schools and some of the first schools has been rated outstanding. These are not my words. It's not right that one unelected, unaccountable head teacher, along with his governing body, should determine the education of children for the area's parents. There's a real democratic deficit here. For him, this is about money and greed, pure and simple, increasing one man's budget from central government. For us, this is about the children, our children, their futures. It's also about the semi-rural communities that we all live in, and some of you represent. If some of the schools close, the heart could be ripped out of the local communities. It's happened before, could happen again. It has large implications for local jobs and small businesses. I've been trawling through Ofsted reports. The following schools are outstanding: Birdshead first, Emily first, Barnley Towers, Sisset Middle, Sisset first, Shelly first. These schools are good. Cumbleworth first, Denby first, Flockton, Kirkleees, Kirkburton first, Shepley first, St Aidan's, Thurston's. Good with outstanding features, Kirkburton Middle. If we were talking about poor schools, I would not be wasting your time this evening. Do you think that the roads, the infrastructure and the busing arrangements will be satisfactory? There's currently no room to move inside Shelley College. Is the council proposing allowing new building on plain fields in Greenbelt? Ask yourselves, why is Shelley College doing this? Is it because they cannot keep their pupils after GCSEs? Don't forget, this is supposed to be a 13 to 18 high school. I suggest that Mr McNally would be better placed if he concentrated on keeping his 16-year-olds and creating a sixth form of excellence. It's pure and simple about money. Is the council aware that kids with learning difficulties and the kids with special needs are not being cared for very well at present by Shelley College? Shelley's last Ofsted programme was critical of the alternative provision provided for its students and the lack of continuity for their learning. To us, every child matters. Jessica's children, the very capable child, the special needs child. I thank you for listening to me. Don't change things. Use your influence to support what the vast majority of parents want. We learnt on Monday that Michael Gove has become personally involved in this issue and has summoned MP Simon Regal to London for talks. We are preparing for a long fight to protect the outstanding educational heritage for the children. We realise that when Mr McNally starts to make his case, he will target the two middle schools, and I would remind you of the previous Ofsted quote, which Shelley College Ofsted agrees with. During their time at middle school, pupils' progress is better than the expected rate nationally, and standards are well above average. I think it is important that you should hear what the Ofsted inspector said of Sisset Middle School. This is an outstanding school. At the heart of its work is the excellent way that each pupil is treated equally and given equal opportunities to proceed.
Mr. Crowther, I'm awfully sorry. Can you wind your remarks up now, please?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
In a nutshell, Sisset Middle is outstanding. Burton Middle is good with outstanding features. It's the strength of the pyramid which creates record results and puts our children in the top 10. I urge you to do everything in your power to help the education of our children. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Crowther. Councillor Harris.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Crowther and your colleagues for coming along tonight to express your views which were very forcibly expressed. Before I actually go on to comment on your general petition, can I just say that Councillor O'Neill and I have noted your concerns that apparently the needs of children with special educational needs are not being adequately met, and we will be following that up. You probably heard me say earlier that is my own background in teaching, therefore it is of importance, well it's of importance to all of us, but particularly so. You'll be aware, of course, that the Coalition Government passed legislation in 2010 to allow any school that wished to become an academy through a decision of the governing body and approval of the Secretary of State for Education, and accountability is directly to the Secretary of State. And that Shelley College, as you've said, became such an academy in September of last year. It's therefore able to propose its own admission criteria without reference to the local authority, although we would consider it good practice to inform us of their intentions. Cabinet made the decision yesterday to go out for a 4-week period of non-statutory consultation starting on the 5th of November, immediately after half-term, so that it's all within school weeks. And we would urge all those who live in the Burton and Denbydale areas and all those who have an interest to respond to that consultation so that we gather as wide a range of views as possible, either by attending one of the, I think, 12 public meetings that have been arranged, or by email, letter or phone. As broad a range of responses as possible give the most informed views, and your comments today will be very helpful in starting that process. This will run in parallel with Shelley College's own consultation, of course, and we trust that Shelley College will also take due regard of the outcomes of the non-statutory consultation as a reflection of the views of the communities they serve, and I say that advisedly, when further considering the future.
Thank you, Councillor Harris. Councillor Khan, I gather you've indicated you wish to speak. Finish tweeting. I've ruled that Councillor Khan can speak. Stop wittering.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you for bringing the deputation to us. As you can see from the response received across the council, there is complete consensus on the issue of ensuring that the best possible education is provided in all parts of Kirklees. When this council undertook the change of different tiers of education, we focused quite deliberately on Cleckheaton, Liversidge and Gummersall for quite obvious reasons. We're quite well aware of the Shelley Pyramid having different tiered education and had no plans to make any changes there. Our next priority would have been to focus on schools within Dewsbury and to bring them up to a much higher standard than the Building Schools for the Future programme. And it is with concern that the council received the information that one school has instigated this review of education within that pyramid, which you've quite rightly said is the highest performing pyramid, not just probably in Kirklees, but the entire Yorkshire and Humber region, without any question. And whilst this council works well with all of the schools, whether they are academies or not, it does cause us concern that when some schools become academies and use their newfound powers of freedom to be able to act in a manner which doesn't take into due regard the wider implications and the impact of their decisions on the schooling system, then the Cabinet would become quite concerned, as we are on this particular case. There are examples where academies have been formed and the relationship with the Council and the Cabinet is stronger than it was previously when they were controlled schools. We urge yourself and others to get involved actively in ensuring that there is a wide range of views taken into the consultation process, which at this stage is a non-statutory consultation process, but we have to make all councillors aware that the other schools that are affected by the decision by Shelly School are those schools that the council has direct responsibility for. So we as a council will be forced upon down into, I believe, if the incorrect decisions are made, into a reorganisation which will be costly and timely and also not required, and will have a massive disruption upon the education of pupils in an area where reorganisation is the last thing that we'd want to do.